What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Cat Life here, bringing another Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel video. And today I am going to be playing some Fusion Festival Despian Darklords with the Masquerade Blazing Dragon. Now this deck is actually crazy because you could just burn your opponent to death in basically their first turn if you go first. So anyways, if you guys enjoyed the video, let me know in the comment section below, and also if you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe notification, as you don't want to miss the next content that I drop, as I drop content daily, morning and nightly. So anyways, thank you all who has been tuning in. I appreciate you. I love you all. Cat Life is signing out. Enjoy the video. Okay, so we are going to be going first, and I'm going to start off by summoning Jester of Despia to grab ourselves a branded in red. And you guys are gonna be so hyped watching this video. I remember I was on stream when I was doing this, and I was like, oh my gosh, look how much damage we are dealing to this guy. Poor brown sugar. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and basically get our Dramaturge back out because it was used as a fusion material to summon our Masquerade. Now, before his turn even begins, on the draw phase, we are going to activate Branded in Red to go ahead and get our Jester and Dramaturge to fuse together to make another one. That's right, another Masquerade Blazing Dragon. We get ourselves now our Dramaturge back onto the field. So if he decides to go ahead and summon out a fusion monster, we will be able to negate its effect or any monster on the field. Mostly just fusions because we need the extra deck monster to come out. Anyways, he's gonna go ahead and just keep activating cards. We are burning him. He's literally burning. Look at him. He's down to 3,600 off of just 3 cards alone. So now he ends his turn, and the only thing we can do is attack over it. So I honestly thought I had game. It does suck because I played Darklord Rebellion face down, which actually would have been better if it just stayed in my hand. I just wanted to play it as a bait. Anyways, we get hit with the magic cylinder, so we take 3k damage. Our Masquerades can't attack over, so we just have to end turn, unfortunately. If we had the Darklord Rebellion, I could have used them to go ahead and fusion into a different monster using Dramaturge, but unfortunately that wasn't the case. Anyways, he gets off his Eldritch again, and so he's able to suicide both my Masquerade Blazing Dragons. He then gets himself a conch from the grave. By getting conch, he can go ahead and basically just set up to where he can do some things. And then for some reason he summons out a Vampire Familiar, which he pays 500 life points off of. So I guess he doesn't care about paying life points, but bro, you are bleeding. You're physically bleeding like you. So now with that, he's gonna go ahead and basically fusion summon for the first time in a fusion event to summon out the Eldritch of the Mad Golden Lord. And he's going to stop us from being able to activate our face down card, which I'm a-okay because we have no way of activating it. So yeah, and then by him summoning out the Eldritch Golden Lord, I can go ahead and negate its effect with Dramaturge. So now it is our turn, and it's time for us to wreak some havoc. His effect is back, but it doesn't even matter. I'm going to go ahead and use his monster to make another Masquerade Blazing Dragon. And we're gonna summon out the Dramaturge one more time, and then from there we're just gonna go ahead and attack for game. So as you can see, this deck just burns people like crazy. It's actually wild, but let's go ahead and hop into the next one. All right, so once again guys, we are going first, and I decided to activate the Allure of Darkness. I wanted 2 cards, and I was willing to risk sacrificing on Celestial. Anyways, I get ourselves a branded opening, and I actually end up goofing, right? Because instead of grabbing the 3rd branded opening, I should have grabbed the branded in red, and you're gonna see why. Anyways, we summon out the Masquerade Blazing Dragon, and if we had grabbed the branded in red, we would have right here another Masquerade, which would be doing 1200 damage per card effect. Anyways, he decides to go ahead. He's playing some Darklords too. How dare he think he can play my deck? But it is what it is, right? He activates the Darklord Indulged to give us a Ukoback. We go ahead and toss out Superbia. So that was probably not a good card to give us. Now we got a Superbia in the graveyard, which means we can use it for special summoning to bring back another monster if we ever find a need to do that. And he gets himself now a Jester on the field and grabs himself a Branded in red. So I can see where he's going with this. He then grabs himself a Dramaturge as well. But guess what? We're still doing damage. So if you really think about it, he's down to 5,000 life points. He's already lost a total of 30. Oh my God, this just keeps going down, bro. It keeps going down. Oh my goodness. And so he activates another card, and look, he's now down to 3,200. So he is losing a bunch of life points. So if we had our second basically Blazing Dragon, he would have lost by now. Anyways, he attacks into us with his Dramaturge, gets out his first Darklord. The Darklord attacks into us as well, but because he attacked Blazing Dragon first, we can bring it back with the Theater's effect. So keep in mind, so with us bringing it back with Theater's effect, his effect doesn't activate, right? So if he leaves again, then I can bring it back now with his own effect, and then when he leaves, he'll get banished. So that's where he goofed. Either way, he was coming back. Don't get things wrong. Anyways, he's gonna go ahead and end his turn. I play now our Branded opening. He then plays a Branded in red. How dare he? And he's going to go ahead and now use his Tragedy. And from Tragedy, he's going to summon out his own Masquerade Dragon. So now it's time for us to take some life points. So, you know what? It is what it is. I take on the challenge because I am a challenge risk taker. So we're going to go ahead and summon out our Jester. From summoning out Jester, we can go ahead and guess what? Grab ourselves another Despian card. Now, what card do we grab? I bet you won't guess it, but we're actually going to be grabbing ourselves a trap card instead of any of the spells, because I want to use the Judgment of the Branded. Now, Judgment of the Branded is such a good card, especially in this event, because all you have to do is target one of your level 8 fusion monsters, and then from targeting one of them, you could go ahead and destroy the whole field that has attack higher or equal to that monster that you chose. So I decided to go ahead and summon our first Darklord, and I attack into his Masquerade to end any of that nonsense he has with taking our life points away, because that's not cool. And he's gonna now summon out Darklord Ukoback. And now I'm gonna go ahead and summon out our Dramaturge, and here's where I goofed up, as you guys can see. So remember I told you which monster I select? I accidentally selected the first Darklord, so it does suck because I could have wiped his whole field except for his Indulge and his Ukoback, but I ended up messing up and goofing and only destroying his first Darklord by selecting our first Darklord because they're equal in attack. So it does suck. He then brings out another first Darklord, but he gives us a Darlord Tezcatlipoca, and this card is actually goated because by him giving us this, we could go ahead and look into our graveyard and play a Darklord card, right? By sacrificing one Darklord from our hand or face up onto the field, right? So he attacks into our Dramaturge, then he activates this. So I'm gonna go ahead and activate that. We get 4,000 life points. We are negating his effect as well. Then I'm now able to go ahead and summon out Superbia. The same Superbia he allowed us to put into the graveyard, which then allows us to go ahead and get ourselves a Jester, and then we can grab ourselves a Branded in red. Now we do draw into an Indulge, and from Indulge I'm gonna go ahead and summon that, give himself a Ukoback. Not sure why he didn't toss any card into the graveyard that was going to be useful. You would think that Superbia would go in the grave, but I don't know, maybe he doesn't play one. Anyways, I grabbed myself a Morningstar off the Indulge, and what Morningstar does when it is fusion summoned to make the first Darklord, I can wipe out the whole field. And because he's a fairy monster, he can't target us with Dramaturge's effect, so therefore he can only target the Masquerade Blazing Dragon, which has no effect activated as of right now, and I wipe his whole field. Now I was going to go ahead and summon out another Masquerade Blazing Dragon just because the card looks so damn good, and he decides to go ahead and scoop. So as you can see, this deck is crazy. Could you imagine if I had both on the field at the same time? We probably would have won because he wouldn't have been able to do anything. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into the next one. All right, so on this turn, we are going to be going second, but guess what? We are playing heroes, and I'm about to show you why I am not a 4th-rate duelist with a 3rd-rate deck, because I'm actually big brain. So we see he gave himself a mass change, and he plays obviously a face down with his Shadow Mist. So now it's my turn. He decides to go ahead and pop the mass change early. I say, you know, it's time to brand it open. Let's open up the door to where we can negate his Darklord's ability. So by tossing out Ixchel into the graveyard, I can summon out our Dramaturge. Now, because he summoned out a fusion monster after Dramaturge was on the field, we can negate that foolish effect, which is going to allow us to literally just start making combos. Because honestly, Darklord's effect is really stupid and very annoying. So now I'm able to go ahead and add cards to my deck. We do get ashed, but to be honest, it's not that big of a deal because that's what I was trying to play through anyways, because that's why I didn't summon out our Jester yet. But now with us summoning out Jester, we can go ahead and add ourselves a Despia Theater. And as you can see, if you look in our hand, what do we have? We have a Morningstar. We have 2 cards on the field, and we can make the All-Star the first Darklord. And he only had 4,000 life points. And now by using Morningstar's ability, we can go ahead and wipe his field. And you're going to see this hero player is just going to rage. Look how fast his life points hit 0. Oh man, hero players, man. All right, let's get into the next one, bro. All right, so now we are going to be clearly playing some true Dracos. As you can see, he has no extra deck, so he does summon out the Ignis. He then activates his card of demise to then go ahead and activate Pot of Duality. He grabs himself a skill drain with a top deck. Now the good thing about this event is skill drain is only limited at 1, so I know I only have to deal with 1 of them. So what do when we are all in effect based like deck? Well, it's simple, bro. We just beat stick over them. He's gonna go ahead and summon out, use summon limit to go ahead and limit us to only 2 summons per turn. So that counts towards like special summons and regular normal summons. So as you can see, now we summon out our Ukoback, and then we're gonna use branded opening to go ahead and summon out a second monster, which is going to be our Dramaturge, and we are now limited. Now the reason I summoned out Dramaturge is for one reason and one reason only. We have a branded in red in our hand, which means when it goes to the graveyard, we can go ahead and use branded in red to then go ahead and basically fusion summon it. Now the reason I didn't put branded in red on the field is I wanted to make sure he did not have any of his spell cards face down, which would allow him to go ahead and destroy one of our face down monsters. But now we are able to summon out the first Darklord, and then we can get our Dramaturge back onto the field. And now what we're going to do is go ahead and attack, but unfortunately he has a Mirror Force. But guess what? We have a branded opening in our grave, so we're able to go ahead and save our first Darklord. He is now going to go ahead and start his turn, and honestly, I don't even think he drew anything that was going to help him here. As you can see, he activates the Pot of Duality, and he ends up not drawing any monsters. So now it's time for him to go ahead and activate Pot of Desires. And now with Desires, he tosses out 10 cards. He draws 2, and he just ends his turn. And to be honest, I think this is when I knew it was over, because he did draw into no monster. We do get off a Theater, and from Theater, we go ahead and summon out our Indulge. Now, the reason I played Theater first was just in case if we were to attack into another Mirror Force, right, our Indulge would be destroyed, and so would our first Darklord, but then we could just bring it back thanks to Theater's ability. So he just goes ahead and scoops. All right, so for our last video, we are going to be going first, and we're going to summon out the Jester. We grab ourselves a branded in red, then we summon out the Theater. Then from Theater, we can go ahead and activate that effect to go ahead and fusion summon into our Masquerade Blazing Dragon. He does get off a Max C though, so he does get a single draw out of it, but that is a-okay. I then activate Reasoning, and Reasoning is going to summon out our Ixchel, so he then gets a second draw, and I end our turn with branded in red. So I'm then going to activate Ixchel's effect, to go ahead and use Darklord Contact to bring out another Indulge. From there, I can go ahead and give him an Ukoback and then draw into our Superbia. Now I can activate Branded in red, which is going to allow him to activate Max C. So he is going to go ahead and get a draw, but he's taking 600 damage. And by activating Branded in red, I'm going to use our Jester to go ahead and combine it with our Superbia to then go ahead and summon out the Masquerade Blazing Dragon. So right now we have a total of 2 cards that's going to be doing 600 damage, and y'all know how this goes. He's just going to be hurting. He then gets off his construct using the Shadow Fusion. Then from Shadow Fusion, he's going to go and activate the Shadow Genius, which is going to go ahead and try to negate our effect. But honestly, we're not activating this. This is a passive type of effect, so it just activates on its own. There's nothing we can really do, so it doesn't actually cancel it out. He then used a Fallen Albaz to go ahead and take one of our Masquerades, which was smart, to summon out a Brigand the Glory Dragon, which is a card I'd never seen before, but it seems pretty good for a Fallen Albaz deck. Anyways, we get our Masquerade back thanks to Theater, and then he gets an extra draw thanks to Max C that he had played on his turn. Now it's our turn to go ahead and wreak havoc. I go ahead and get our Masquerade back onto the field, so we got both our monsters back. I activate the Allure of Darkness, just hoping we can top deck a monster, and we do. We get the Despian Tragedy. Now with Tragedy, we are able to summon out Jester, and then from Jester, we get ourselves a branded opening. We activate the the Banishment of The Darklord to go ahead and get ourselves a Morningstar. Then we're going to go ahead and use Theater, and y'all know what's about to happen. We are about to destroy that whole field with the first Darklord and Morningstar's ability. His whole field now gets wiped. He can activate the branded opening if he wants, but to be honest, it is gone, man. It's not gonna save him. So goodbye, because that card wasn't in his graveyard at first. He can't save his monster. He does get a Schism back, but it's already good game. We just go ahead and attack him with the 2 Masquerade Blazing Dragons, and we're able to end it. But anyways, guys, thank you all for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If this is a deck that you are playing, let me know how many wins did you guys get with it. In all total yesterday, I think I lost only 6 games throughout an 8-hour of gameplay on stream. So I feel like that's pretty good, right? We played 8 hours on stream, about 8.5 hours, and only lost 6 games. I don't know, that seems really good. But anyway, guys, thank you all for tuning in. Have a wonderful day. See ya.